Hi everyone, welcome back to my layout. It is December 2019. I apologize, it's been a couple months since I produced some videos. I wanted to give you a layout update here. There won't be any operations in this video. I wanted to give you a little tour of what's been going on. I've been really hard at work. I've been adding a lot of additions to the layout and I think it's coming along real nicely. So I'm just going to start here at the my right of the layout where the engine house and the yard is. First thing I did was I added Walther's overhead crane to the diesel house. This is a little bit of a kit bash. It doesn't fit perfectly in here, but I wanted it to basically be able to mimic overhead crane taking off the long hood, changing out heavier parts and pieces. Here's just a little bit tighter shot on it. I did not glue it down on the rails, so I can move it. I can also move the crane part. I did not glue that part down. Quite a bit of kit bashing involved. This was actually probably more designed to be on the outside of the engine house, so I really cut down. It's probably hard to see these black rails to fit in between these two stanchions. The overall width of the crane fit perfectly between the two different walkways, so real satisfied with how this turned out. Here's just more of a view from up above. You can see that there's the operator's control area up above the crane, and I'm just going to move the camera here so you can kind of see how it sits up above the stanchions, providing service to the locomotives. Next addition is right here. Added just a small yard office. Typically there's not a lot of office space within the engine house, so added a small Walther's modern yard office here. Kind of barely see it right here. Kit bashed some stairs. Made a sidewalk on the back side here that runs up into the engine house. Added some Woodland Scenics lights. We'll pan just a little bit left here. Another new addition. I also made the sand storage pit, drying house, and I'll show you the sanding towers here in just a second. This was another Walther's kit. Let me just show you this here. Looks like real sand. It actually is real sand, but as you can see, it doesn't move like real sand. I put a piece of styrofoam down in the base of the storage box here, and then just used thin down white glue to glue it in place, so it looks like real sand. It is real sand, but it's stationary. I don't have to worry about spilling it or anything like that. So here's the next addition. I'm real proud how these turned out. Here is my larger of the two sanding towers. It services the second and third service bays of the diesel house, and I'm just going to pan slightly left here. And the kit, the sanding house, actually comes with the sanding towers. So here is the second of the smaller of the two sanding towers, and it can service the first bay as well. You can also see I added two, I'll pan back here, two more Woodland Scenics wood pole street lamps, and I'll show you here what that's going to look like in nighttime operation in just a second. Another addition to the layout, I added a scale, so a freight car scale. Just pull the top off here. You can see that's actually inside the house. Here's what it looks like from the front. The only way I could get this to mount was with the actual house itself facing the outside of the layout towards the backdrop. Also got a little scale car. You can get those from Bachman. Added a Woodland Scenics light to the scale so I can mimic weighing freight cars as they come in and out of the yard. Real satisfied with how that turned out as well. Here's something that's really cool. I did not know that Walther's actually produced a scale replica of EMD's 567 prime mover. So I bought one of these, put it together, and this will make a good addition for the diesel house, the overhead crane. Right now I just have it staged on a flat car, chained down. So just like getting a delivery of a new 567 that we can use in the diesel house. So I thought that was a really neat find. I didn't even know that Walthers made these. I was at a local hobby store and it was buried underneath some stuff. I'm like, well, this is pretty cool. Pick me one up. So the last addition to my layout is this scene over here. A couple of Walthers grain bins. It's actually 4 kits here. Grain bins are sold individually, so there were 2 grain bin kits. The elevator leg kit, and I'll show you on the back side here. I also got the grain dryer too. So I have this set up, and then just I'm going to pan just a little bit left here where this white piece of poster board is. That's the outline for where I'm going to make a small cornfield. So that's going to be my next project here as winter drags on here in the middle of Iowa. I'm not quite done with this scene yet. You can see where that corn truck is. I'm actually going to build that up a little bit, and I'm going to have to kit bash not even kit bash, I'm going to scratch build an unloading dock for the corn to come in. Right now I just have the chute to load corn from the bin into a truck or a wagon, but I don't have anywhere to unload it, so I need to scratch build. I have an idea of how I'm going to do it, but I'm also going to build that space up some so there's not quite as much of a gap between where the truck is and where the spout ends, and that way, so I'm going to do kind of an in-ground dumping trough. So not quite done with this scene, but overall I'm just really thrilled with how this turned out. On the back side here you can see here's one of the legs coming down into the grain dryer. That's a grain dryer. It's once the glue sets up, this is still actually wet glue, I'll pull the grain dryer out so you can actually see what it looks like. You can only see sort of the back half of it. Propane tank to feed the grain dryer. But again, this was my opinion, I think this scene turned out real well. You see these on a lot of farms here in the middle of Iowa. So one of the things that I really am enjoying about this layout is just how realistic the lighting looks. You know, most industries, towns have a lot of light, so even if you're nighttime you can still see quite a bit. That's what I like about my layout. You can still see quite a bit of stuff with the lighting. Got some lights here at the co-op. Lights back over here at the lumber mill and the gas station. So I know the camera doesn't pick up real well compared to the naked eye, but it's pretty impressive in person. So have the diesel house nice and illuminated. That over here by where the yard office is, and those street posts, that's going to be a nice little parking lot. But again, just good light here for the crews as they come in and do nighttime servicing of the locomotives. The sanding towers are pretty well illuminated, fuel pads illuminated, diesel house is illuminated, so it's just a nice little scene. So I know it's a short video. I have a whole bunch of new rolling stock I'm going to be breaking out here. After I get past December 20th, my schedule lightens up quite a bit, so I'm planning on doing several operational videos throughout the holiday break, and stay tuned to my channel for a lot more fun things to come here as we close out 2019. If you have any questions, just give me a holler in the comments. Thank you.